Finally, we're back for the League of Legends Finals! It is the Dream Arena Extreme Summer 2012 Championships, and I apologize for making you wait. It was all my fault. No, it wasn't. It was tech difficulties. But we're going to get this underway now. So, before we start, we're actually going to hear a few words from the teams. So, starting things off, we're going to get an interview real quick with Moscow 5! All right. We're not doing that again. You know, that happened earlier. The mic wasn't working. All right. Yeah. Oh, look at that sneaky. All right. You must be in a good mood going into this.
Yeah. It's like we lost the first game, but we are going to change something and try our best the second and the third game. We were confused a bit about schedule, so we came late, and that gave a bit advantage to our enemies. But I think we should try our best to win this.
Damn straight. Those are fighting words. He's going to try his best. Let's hear it. All right. Well, best of luck. Best of luck in this series. And we're actually going to go ahead and take a quick look at the route that they took to get here to the finals today. Or not. Yo, you found me. All right, there we go.
Now back is going to be a jump in. Morgana's going to go for the ultimate, lands a few, but Gallia going back for it. Double kill immediately. And Angus now not having a good time. Alex getting very, very low. Will drop down to the bleed.
Is going to... Yes, he is. And the surrender coming out from Curse EU.
Well, that was short and sweet. Now we're going to go ahead and hear a word from their opponents. It is the Counter Logic Gaming EU. Yeah, man, you got some fans out there.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the support, guys. Couldn't do it without you.
Well, as your opponent said, you're actually one map up already in the series. How does that feel going into the finals?
Still the finals, main stage. It's a little different, but we're confident in our ability. If we play our game, we can take it.
What did he say?
Bananas OP.
What does that mean?
The animation from Soraka, attack animation, appears as if you're throwing bananas, and I scored some kills with it earlier today.
As Soraka. Damn. Now, I'm not too familiar with LoL, but isn't she supposed to be a support character?
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay, so that just makes you a total badass then.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, yeah. Great. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at what they had to go through to get here today. Thank you very much, sir. Best of luck. And I'm going to go ahead.
time instead. Shirley's rugby been popped. Cyanide been caught out of position. Big Edge has been dived on and melted on the through. Cyanide will also get going down as well. CLG will be taking it 2-0, and they will be going into the final against Moscow 5.
Those are pretty cool. That's some new stuff right there. That's actually really awesome to see that here at Dreamhack. But guys, now I think it's finally time to start this. And to bring you the action, I'm going to go ahead and hand the mic over to D-Man and Joe Miller.
Thanks a lot, guys. Awesome atmosphere as usual. Yeah. This is my 12th Dreamhack, and I don't even know how many Dreamhacks here in the Dream Arena, but this place is always awesome, so keep it up, guys.
It's chock-a-block, and this is my first one as well. It's fantastic. We are up a little bit high, so if you guys all look to your right, you'll see us way up in the air. We are a little bit high up here. I got to be honest, it's not good looking down, but you guys look awesome down there. Let's get some games going, Joe. We've been waiting for a long time.
We've already seen the first game, of course. CLG took a commanding win from that one. We're into the bans and picks, and you may be wondering why CLG has ban and pick #1 once again. That was the punishment for Moscow 5 turning up late to their final game. Yeah, turning up half an hour late to the final.
They were an hour late to actually be there. But you know what? They don't care about that. And they immediately let CLG have Ergot. And that's a big, big mistake according to CLG. Yorick and Darius and Shen banned out for CLG. Anivia, Ari, and Morgana banned out for Moscow 5. And you can see Aurelia and Nocturne being picked in there. So we're not going to get Wicked with Aurelia in that top lane. How is that's going to work out for Darian? And Lee Sin could be coming out for Diamond Pro. You know, we've seen so many times. No, he switched it. He switched it. He's trolled us and changed it to Nautilus.
Well, Nautilus has been a mainstay of this tournament so far. We know how good Diamond is, just generally, but also on Lee Sin. He was one of the players that really brought Lee Sin right into the forefront and showed us some amazing play with him. But he's going to be Nautilus anyway. And we've got Aurelia, like I said, no Aurelia for Lee Sin, for Wicked. That's what I'm trying to say this time. But Ergot, we've seen him banned in, I guess, 99% of games and played in 1% of games. Obviously, the 1% that he wasn't banned, if I need to really explain that. But I don't know if that's really that big of an insta-lock-in for CLG. Have Moscow 5 baited that?
Well, the scary thing for me is the
bananas!
We're going to see bananas. Yeah. And actually, Froggen's going to be on Karthus. Karthus has been played pretty much throughout the Open tournament. He completely snowballed with that. But the fact is, Cogmore has been left open. Cogmore, at the moment, 100% win ratio throughout this tournament, has been left open. Could well be the bottom lane for Moscow 5. They have got everyone available. And there is Instalock Genja on Cogmore. That, for me, is a scary, scary thing for Moscow 5. You know, we, as sort of commentators, and I guess you guys as viewers, we want to see a best of 3. So I technically want Moscow 5 to take this one, the first game. I had Moscow 5 overall, but, you know, Wicked, every time he sees me, he's go, you still think the same thing?
Even after that 1-0 scoreline, he's like that. Wicked, we saw him earlier on in the tournament actually playing Renekton. It worked out pretty decently for them as well. That was the... my mind is quite small, obviously, and my memory even smaller. When did he play Renekton? When did he play Renekton? In the last game? Not the last game. Not the last one, but the semi-final against Fnatic. There we go. Thanks, Demon. I knew there was a reason we had you here. So, CLG, they've got Ergot in there. They've got Soraka, which is a very potent combo. Obviously, Ergot, his EQ combo actually takes a lot of mana, and Soraka, he can give it him back.
Mundo
there is Mundo
in the jungle. That could be an interesting one straight away. We've not seen Mundo throughout this tournament, actually. When we did have a few changes, has switched it to Maokai. Maokai would make more sense in this lineup, I think. You know, he's been one that Snoopy's played Maokai fantastically well. We talked about him actually. Technically, we were hacking on him, saying he wasn't really bringing many kills and helping with the support. Wow. Insta-lock Kassadin. And that's going to be very strong against Snoopy as well. He's going to be able to absolutely pop him down if he gets that combo built up in time. So wait till level 6 and see how Alex is going to come about this one. This is a very bursty team from Moscow 5. That top lane could be very even. You know, Wicked's going to know exactly what's happening against Darian on Aurelia. So Renekton will be very strong in that lane. I expect to see Snoopy maybe camping out on that top lane as well.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure which way to favor this game. I mean, you've got that Urgot-Soraka combo down at the bottom, which is very, very strong. Urgot, as he builds up there, he gets very, very tanky. His range is phenomenal when he gets the lock on, and his damage, you know, follows suit. Plus, his ultimate, that big switch, is a great initiator. But the problem is, can they actually get in there for the initiation? You're going to have Cogmore on the other side, who will be a prime target, or should be a prime target at least, but he's going to be quite far away, and they're not going to let Urgot get in a position to actually pull Cogmore in where they're going to want to initiate that fight.
And the question is, when he gets reversed, what's he going into? Because he's got a lot of stuns in there that he's not going to be able to come out of. He's going to have to be incredibly tanky to get that reversal off. Really, it could pay dividends. You may see some big reversal on maybe when they're pushing on towards the towers. Obviously, we've seen some epic games between CLG and Moscow 5. I would not be surprised to see this one go to about 40 minutes.
Again, as we're used to seeing between these two. Well, let's talk about the middle lane, because you've got Froggen on Karthus against Alexic on Kassadin. Now, Kassadin, he can push these gaps when he gets to level 6 and he gets that Rift Walk. How is that going to affect this play in the middle lane?
Well, he can pop him, that's the thing. He can insta-pop him. The question is, can Karthus get into those positions where he's going to get insta-popped? Actually, saying that, we've seen Froggen go in without dying on Karthus as well. So, you know, he knows his positional play. He's not one of those champions like, say, if PK's doing it, he will pretty much flash in your face and put the file across you and just basically make sure everybody's getting hit by that. Plays it a little bit differently, Froggen. Froggen has a phenomenal AP champion, but honestly, I think Alexic has maybe pulled a bit of a cheeky one out here. We always talk about, you know, the fact that Kassadin getting locked in, Karthus, getting locked in fairly early on can be countered, and I think he may have pulled a sneaky one out here with Kassadin.
Well, let's get a little bit of a gauge from the crowd. I'm pretty sure I know which way it's going to go, but let's hear a little bit of noise if you want Moscow 5 to pick up the title. Some of that noise were boos, by the way. Let's hear a bit of noise for CLG. I already know what's going to happen. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal atmosphere here in the Dream Arena. Are we going to see any early level action? In game number 1, we saw a 5-man push from CLG to the top side of Moscow 5 jungle. They actually even dove underneath the turret. However, will CLG do the same in this one? Froggen actually putting those late wastes out, trying to find something. Diamond started to move out towards them, but I think this one will be a little bit more cautious, especially from Moscow 5's point of view, because if they lose this game, CLG will be champions.
Yeah, they've got a lot of crowd control there at the start, but honestly, they didn't have a lot of great bit of damage to just burst it, follow up. They could have caught onto Karthus there. I thought Froggen, I nearly said Alexic, I'm so used to seeing Alex playing Karthus. He could have easily flashed Dredgelined onto Froggen. He would have popped him very quickly, but instead chose not to, did back out, and it is going to be the blue buff going straight away for Moscow 5. You know, we have to be slightly careful what we say. The guys on stage, they are about 30 seconds ahead of us, so we cannot give, say, I don't know, ward positions away, so stuff like that. If you guys can see a gang, obviously you can cheer and go mental. If you can see someone setting up for the gang, it will give them a little bit of a risk, but if we don't mention it, that is the reason why.
Well, we're looking at the jungle paths here. Pretty standard stuff for the champions that we're seeing. Obviously, Maokai over with Snoopy and Nautilus over with Diamond Prox. Moscow 5 giving him a hard pull on this one.
Yeah, at the moment you can see Moscow 5, they will pick up the blue buff. Blue buff going to Snoopy as well. So there's Nautilus, and Snoopy already picked that one up. So people returning to lanes. You can see Renekton versus Aurelia in that top lane. It will be Wicked versus Darian. And immediately Wicked gets in there, just puts a little bit of burst damage down into him. Just a welcome hello to the lane and saying, let's see what they can do. See if anyone's got any obvious advantages over them. Alex is going to have to be a little bit careful. You can see Snoopy actually diving with Twisted Advance on towards Darian. Now, Darian used the flash already, so that's a very early flash burned out there by Darian. Also doesn't have, I think he just put the Ignite down as well on towards Snoopy on that turret. Meanwhile, this bottom lane, you can see this goes through Pepper and Genja. That is going to be Karthus and Alistair versus Yellow Pete and Crepo. That will be Urgot and Soraka with those evil bananas.
Yeah, the evil bananas that have actually pulled in quite a few kills in this tournament already. You can see now that Yellow Pete has level 2. He's got the option to combine that E and the Q to get the lock on. And really cause some damage onto Genja. And now at level 3, especially when he's got 2 points in his queue, that's going to be really, really strong. But, you know, Gosu Pepper, we've seen Moscow 5 as a whole. This Alistar in the bottom lane, we've seen a roaming Alistar quite a lot throughout this one. Yellow Pete actually is going to take the cover, but we are going to look at this top lane now because Wicked is going to be pressured down. Actually flashes away, just misses the dredge line, and that will be Wicked safe for now. But will Diamond stick around and maybe go in? We can't tell that at this point.
Well, there's 2 flashes, both been used up, so Aurelia's flash burnt out as well. We can see a headbutt pulverized on towards Yellow Pete there, actually getting a lock on as well. Genja's putting a little bit of damage down on him. He's going to force down on towards Genja though, getting that lock, keeping him at range, and actually continuing to lock on towards Genja there. So getting a good few many hits on him. You can see Nautilus now backing away in that top lane. And, well, 4 minutes gone into this game, it is going to start off as a cagey affair, Joe. No opening frags at the moment, or kills, as we say here in League of Legends.
Some of us, at least. I see Snoopy actually picking up the second buff over on his side of the jungle. We did see him earlier on going for that level 2 gank in towards the top lane, which I guess you can call it half successful. They managed to burn Darian's flash and his ignite, so won't have that for later on. Yellow Pete constantly using this EQ combo down in the bottom to put in as much damage as he possibly can onto Genja. Obviously, Alistar does have that heal, but it's not going to be as strong as the Soraka one. Mid lane, of course, you've got Froggen with those layways. Alex, or Kassadin, is actually a melee champion, his basic attacks at least, so he has to be in there amongst those minions, which, you know, can work to Froggen's advantage, especially until Alex gets to level 6 and can really burst up into his face using that Rift Walk.
Yeah, but I'm amazed that Alex has actually stayed ahead in terms of CS in that middle lane. He's actually out farming Froggen at the moment on Kassadin, which is something really he probably shouldn't be doing. Genja, meanwhile, down this bottom lane, he's keeping up pretty standard, 19 to 19, so bang on even between the two. Yellow Pete obviously had a few lock-ons towards Genja, just trying to keep that lane frozen as close as he can. Darian helping out with Diamonds up that top lane onto Wicked. Obviously a bit of a failed gank up there, and Wicked's quite happy to have this turret forced onto there. He just can pick up the CS there, just means he doesn't need to worry. There's no opening ward placements out going out there either though, so Maokai at the moment, he's just going to get spotted by that ward as soon as he walks his way down there. He's going to try and maybe get Twisted Advance, so he's just going to back off. I think he realizes as soon as they backed away, yeah, look at that, Moscow 5 immediately backing away from lane. Snoopy realizes he's pretty much been spotted.
Well, he will finally move away from this bottom lane. That ward is in position, he'll obviously know that, so we're not giving anything away, even at this part of the game. There is a ward in this brush as well that will keep an eye on Gosu Pepper and see if he's actually going to be, you know, gauging up for any of those pulverized headbutt combos. Mid lane, again, the CS there is, as Demon said, 39 to 49, so Kassadin actually is leading right now, and he's starting to work his way up towards that level 6 where he's going to become real dangerous. But we are going to see Froggen getting ganked here in the middle. This could well be first blood. He is ignited, but he's got back to the safety of that turret. Is Kassadin going to try for this one? Like we said, he is now level 6, so I think he was thinking of rift walking right through that turret and trying to get that first blood, but in the end decides, is it worth the risk? Probably not at this stage.
Yeah, Maokai was sat ready and waiting as well, so as soon as he'd have gone through, it would have been Alex's death, because he would have got immediately caught out there as Yellow Pete gets dredge lined as well, headbutting into the wall. That would delay him a little bit. Pulverized goes down. Doesn't have any more knockback though. The dredge line will be back available shortly, but unfortunately Genja wasn't really close by for that, so Yellow Pete, all that damage done was simply by the jungler and the support, Joe, and honestly I don't know why Genja wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, a little bit of possible lack of communication there in Moscow 5. The AD carry in this bottom lane at this stage is going to be the man doing all the damage, and they need him there for these ganks. Alex Hitch actually does take a hit or two from Froggen in the central area, but Froggen, after having come back, I'm not sure how this is going to work out for him now at level 6. I think he's going to rely on Snoopy having to get in there, get that ulti down, and really camping possibly Alex Hitch out of the lane on this Kassadin.
As of yet, we haven't seen Maokai coming out of that jungle doing too many ganks. Too many gank attempts, should I say. There's been 0 ganks so far, 7.5 minutes gone. And there's a very slow-paced opening from CLG Moscow 5. Remember, CLG coming into this one 1-0 up. And they have beaten Moscow 5 actually twice on this land. That's going to be taking their record to around about, I don't know, 20-3, I think, something like that. Obviously, they picked up a couple of wins in the group stages, and obviously taking over Curse EU just earlier this morning. But as it stands, Moscow 5 have not got a very good record against CLG, certainly at this event. They are 2-0 down, and we are starting to see a bit of a gather here. Kassadin just making a little wander around. It's all about the blue buff, I think, and you can see Maokai was trying to set up for that one. Snoopy wanted to get on towards that blue buff, but instead it is going to go across to Alex Leauge.
Yeah, and a little bit of word of warning there from Snoopy, just pinging up towards that blue buff, saying he's possibly going to be around there with Kassadin getting in for that blue buff. Here at top, we are seeing an exchange of damage. Darius is going to go with Darien, sorry. Darien, damn it. That was, again, a little bit worrying in my opinion. We saw Wicked versus Darien in the last game, and it didn't really go all that well for Darien in the early stage. Obviously, he was on Vladimir that time, but Wicked, if he's in a confident mood, is a really dangerous player because he will sometimes go that one step too far, which, you know, a lot of players know their safety levels at the top level, but I think Wicked, when he's confident, can sometimes go a little bit further than people expect and catch them out.
Yeah, he can go very aggressive, but Alex, I think he's going to be looking to pick up some kills very much soon. And first blood's definitely going to be between Karthus, I feel, and Kassadin. They're starting to get very aggressive between one another.
Yeah.
And actually, down the bottom, Brutalizer's just been picked up by Urgot as well. Snoopy is working his way out, so Urgot's now going to be very much doing a lot of damage towards Cogmore. And you can see Cogmore's actually started out purposely for that reason with that armor. So he's got the boots and double thorns blade in there now, so he's actually got a lot of health. So he should be okay. Froggen's just returned to lane. He's only got that catalyst to go exactly the same as Karthus. So Kassadin, getting the same build as Karthus in the middle lane. And again, there we can see that burst damage that does come out from Alex. And that's what Froggen's got to be careful of. He realizes he can't pop him just in one set yet, but it's only a matter of time before that will just start insta-popping him.
Yeah, really dangerous times coming up for Karthus here soon. We can see that Yellow Pete actually well spotted moving around there. There are a lot of wards around this southern riverside, keeping that vision up, which, you know, in the last game, CLG's strategy was to just play offense, and try and be more aggressive than Moscow 5. This time they seem to be a little bit more passive, certainly than they were that last game, and I'm not sure whether that's the way to really play against Moscow 5. We've seen the teams that have beat them have been those really aggressive sides. Here we go though, we are going to see the push coming in. Darien is being ganked by two. Karthus ulti has gone off, he's bleeding, and there is first blood to Wicked on Renekton, and that is the start that CLG were looking for. Froggen will again get first down in that middle lane. Gossip Pepper is taking damage from that level 7 now, Urgot in the bottom lane, but overall there is the synergy with the Karthus demon. The two-man gank comes in, Karthus ulti goes down, it's very hard to escape.
Diamond's gone in the jungle, he's going to steal away the race. We've got to keep our eye whether he goes towards Froggen here. He could easily zip across, and that's exactly what he's done. Ulti gone across, very nice flash from Froggen now. The ulti does finally catch up with him, but Alex Leauge is going to have Rift Walk back available in a moment. You can see Froggen trying to go towards him, actually baited him towards Snoopy. Froggen will go down, but Alex Leauge is going to get taken down very low. Diamond Prox surely can get closed in by Snoopy. He's turning in towards him. I guess he realizes he's going to be dead. In fact, no, he's gone towards Kassadin. Can Alex Leauge get the burst damage? Diamond Prox just flashes away. It's not going to be enough. Snoopy will pick up the kill. Now Renekton coming to join the party as well. Alex Leauge will go down, flashes through, and picks up the kill. 3-1 for CLG. What a great bit of play.
Well, I was talking about the communication from Moscow 5 earlier on, but that was perfect communication from CLG. Wicked came back down there. Froggen actually turning around and leading him out towards Snoopy. Snoopy then getting the kill, and Wicked just waited for the perfect time to jump over the top and get that kill. That will give us a 3-1 kill advantage for CLGU, a 2,000 gold advantage, and obviously the kills lying with a 2-0 on Wicked, 1-0-2 on the Maokai, and obviously a couple assists there on Karthus as well, which means once Wicked goes back, I think Darien could have a bit of an issue in top lane.
Yeah, the question is, what will he build early on? He's got a good choice there with 2,500 gold, and he will have before he goes back. Looks like he will be the moment. You can see Aurelia has just backed off, so Wicked's immediately going to take that opportunity to back straight away. Alex Leauge, so he's going to be disappointed he didn't pick up more from that one. Only got that one kill. And you can see what Diamond was trying to do. He was just trying to bait him towards it, and he was probably thinking, why didn't I pick Lee Sin? I had him locked in to start with. They probably got talked out of it to take Nautilus away from Snoopy. Meanwhile, Froggen is going to pick up the blue buff there with the cheeky lay waste at the end there. Meanwhile, what's going on down the bottom lane? We haven't really seen a great deal of it. It's all been happening in the middle there. Wall of Pain's going across. Froggen and Gosu Pepper, you can see Yellow Pete trying to lock on towards Gosu Pepper, but this has been a fairly passive lane. I expected quite a bit of action to come from those two, but it seems to be Alex that's causing all the problems for them so far.
Yeah, and if you look at the items down in this this bottom lane as well, Brutalizer is actually finished. Still tier 1 boots, actually, with Urgot. Cogmore gone for that armor, so, you know, as you said, he actually started with the cloth armor as well, which is just a sign of respect, I suppose, as well, to the fact this Urgot in the early game is going to be pumping out damage. He's going to become tankier later on as well, which is going to make him harder to kill. So we'll just figure out in this bottom lane how it goes in terms of the CS right now. It's bang level, 93 apiece. Obviously give or take as they are still farming, but we have Snoopy waiting in the wings. Here comes a strong point. We are going to get the Karthus ulti as well. The switch came in. Genja will actually flash away. Snoopy is making his push around. Gosu Pepper will be in trouble now, but can they finish this one off? Have they got the damage? Diamond has come down as well, and this is bad news, and we are going to see Diamond manage to force them away.
Yeah, I mean, Calcidan actually thought about coming down there for a moment, but chose, rather than going against it, Froggen and Wicked already making their way down the bot side here. The Dragon is available. Aurelia is a long way away. And you can see Wicked actually leashing this one out with Froggen. Now they're going to go straight for this one. Alex could certainly get a bit of burst damage across the whole team there. Gets caught out though, has to rift walk away, so that's not going to be available for a couple more seconds. Comes back around there. They're going to want to go for this one. Diamond Pro's going to try and get in, but he's going to get caught out and popped instantly there. Alex now seems to be the target, but they're just going to back away. And wow, I did not expect Diamond Pro to go down quite so quick, and I don't think he did either.
I certainly didn't expect him to go down that fast. I mean, Philostone, Heart of Gold, apparently meant nothing there to CLG. They absolutely destroyed him. And we could see a possible push here onto this middle turret. We do have Crepo there with Snoopy as well, but obviously without that AD carry who did return back to the bottom there, Yellow Pete, to continue farming. They don't really have that damage to be putting that one out. So that leaves us with a 4,000 on almost 4,000 gold advantage for CLG EU. And we talked about the play styles, Demon, and how you have to play against Moscow 5 to beat them. Something which a lot of teams have never really figured out. And it seemed to be every time we see them lose against an aggressive play style, but CLG aren't particularly that aggressive this game.
Yeah, Moscow 5 have just not really had the ganks working for them so far. Yeah. You know, you've got Wicked in the top lane. He can get away pretty well with the slice and dice. Alex H has kind of tried it in the middle there. Hasn't been successful with any of the ganks set. You can see Yellow Pete also been aggressive on Genja. I mean, Gosu Pepper on Alistair's a very aggressive lane, but he's just not been able to make anything worse because the tankiness that Yellow Pete's got, and Crepo's been staying a long, long way back. Look, you can see right now, he's just way behind that tower, just keeping well out of the way of Genja's ultis and just letting Yellow Pete tank them up and just healing him as he needs to. So at the moment, though, it looks like a gank being set up in the middle. Look, just looking towards Froggen. Froggen is sat lying in wait. And hopefully I haven't given anything away too early. They are going to come around. They do get the silence down. The Ignite comes across. Dredgeline goes down there as well. Froggen is a very dead Karthus there. Alex is just going to rip walk away from that one. And Moscow 5 do pick up a kill. A very successful gank. I was hoping I hadn't given away too much there. Aurelia would also come down as well. I'm not too sure whether he was quite needed. And instead, we're seeing this possible mistake that we see teams make so often, and that's just leaving Wicked alone in lane.
There was, strangely enough, a ping actually in that top bush just before they moved out of that one, so not sure exactly how that one all went down, but Darien now forcing pressure on this middle turret. He's going to have Snoopy coming in here just to force him away from that one. Has lost about half of its HP though, so a good little bit of damage done there. CLG just taking the golems from this bottom side as well. May even take away the Wraith's Yellow Pete, but you can see that CLG, they want to do damage back onto this middle turret by the looks of things.
Yeah, so Alex Ich, the thing is on that turret, and he's going to have to try and defend this. They have got a 4-man defensive unit here, so they should be able to keep CLG away, I think. This position reverser up, it looks like it is. So maybe Yellow Pete's going to try and swap onto someone here. Certainly not Alex Ich they want to go on to. Does get a lock on there, and that, you can see the damage that's doing straight away with that Brutalizer in there. It's probably going to build towards the Glacial Shroud next as well. You can see he's got the Giant Spell already complete. But while this is all going on, down this bottom lane, Genja is just churning away damage on towards that turret. Hasn't really got a great deal of damage, has picked up the Zeal, but that looks like the mid turret will go down. That's going to be the second turret for CLG. Top one already down, so they are just starting to pick them apart here. CLG, they're continuing the push on them into the inner turret here. Moscow 5 not really able to react to this one. Darren, you can see, taking a big chunk of damage, but they are continuing to keep those lock-ons. And look at the damage on towards Gosu Pepper. He's just being ripped apart by Yellow Pete at the moment. They realise that Yellow Pete is at his strongest. He will slowly tailor away as the game goes on, but at the moment he will be very, very strong in those fights.
Yeah, and really proving it, and forcing Moscow 5 to back straight away from that one. Like you said, they didn't have Genja in that one. He was actually down in the bottom. Yellow Pete's going to now take that roll up once again. And maybe a retreat from, or a push back actually from Moscow 5 in this middle lane, and that's something we see all too common, that a team pushes the middle lane and then goes back to where they were, and the team that were just being pressured are like, well, we've got 5 still here, let's start to push the lane out ourselves. Again though, not having that AD carry, that Cogmore in the mix, will make it a lot harder to be pushing down turrets.
Yeah, and Froggen's just absolutely melting those minions, but Alexic gonna sneak on in. Yellow Pete's already backing away. I think he's had a bit of a pre-warning and he's going to get bursted down, but it's not going to be enough. You can see Genja wasn't again in position there. He could get the position reversal onto the turret here, so they need to be careful. He doesn't just get the lock on towards Genja. Puts a chunk of damage down on him. Diamond Pro was coming in. Alexic actually goes back in for another burst combo. Could Rift walk onto him? The ulti coming through. Alexic now realizes Crepo there. The wish goes out from Crepo. Gets that heal down. Then Bananas going on towards Alexic, but they are not going to just force him away there. And great defensive work from Crepo once again. As it is, though, Froggen pushing it in that mid lane. You can see the Defile going across, and he's just easily picking up the minions there. Genja actually could get trouble south. Snoopy going to come in there. They've got had backed away. Snoopy's going to get shredded a little bit low by Genja. They've got to be careful. Genja is pretty strong right now, building up towards that Phantom Dancer. And if Diamond choose to join them, but meanwhile Wicked and Darien exchanging in the top lane. Ulti already popped by Wicked there. Darien just using his ulti as well to try and get that lifesteal back. Hasn't got the tower to fall back on, so will just back the hell away from this fight.
Yeah, I can't really stay and fight there with Wicked. I mean, he's 0-1-0 compared to the 2-0-1. Wicked got more farm. Actually gone Last Whisper straight away there. So really wants to be doing this damage through that armor that Irelia has built up. Diamond also, with that Oracle on, is going to be starting to clear those wards out as well. Let's see if Snoopy has an Oracle. No, not currently. So CLG not got the ability to clear out the vision that Moscow 5 will be building up, but they seem to be pushing this bottom turret fairly heavily in the in the event that this dragon is going to be coming up here very soon. We've got Wicked there, we've got Froggen there as well. Pink ward's going down. Dragon going to be starting.
Perfect timing by CLG there. They add it down to the millisecond. Oh, they're going to get the position reversal on Yellow Pit. On Alexic, probably the worst one to go for, though. Does manage to rip walk away, gets caught out with a bit more damage, knocked back. Snoopy tries to get onto him. Alexic does go down. That's a big bit of burst damage. Gosu Pepper's going to get caught out as well. His ulti's going to try and save him there. They're going to go towards Darien now. Darien's probably the worst one to go for. Can they catch out? You can see the pings going down. Gosu Pepper's going to take a low by that ulti, but not quite low enough. And they will steal away the blue buff and return back and take that dragon down. But 5-2 now for CLG. They are looking very strong in this game so far.
Tell you what, they've done a great job there. I mean, they were starting up for Baron. In they came, and they, sorry, for Dragon, you know what I mean. You saw it on your screens. They managed to force them back, get that kill, even almost forced Alistair to die, and then came back out, picked themselves up the Dragon. Got it right this time, and they now have a 6,000 gold lead. The kills spread nicely, 2-2-2 on Karthus, who, by the way, got that Rod of Ages finish, got the needlessly large rod and those sorcerer's shoes. If you compare him over to Kassadin, who's got Rod of Ages and shoes as well, he's only just picked up there an Amp Tome right at the end, and in fact, Karthus has just picked up that armor, working up nicely towards a Zonya's.
Yeah, and I talked about how close they were in CS. You can see he fell about 60 CS behind Froggen now, and he was actually ahead at one point, was Kassadin, so no surprise really there. Karthus is a farming beast, and Wicked has just been left alone again on that top lane. While that was all going on, he's just farming it quite happily. 163 CS to Aurelius 165, so they kept up with each other. But Trinity Force will be coming out on towards Aurelius shortly. Looks like Renekton, not too sure what he's going to be building towards. He has got that Giant's Belt in there. He's already got the Last Whisper, so he's going for the armor penetration more than anything. Whether he wants to shred down Alistair as well as Nautilus in there to go with him. damage he can put down on Anivia. Anivia? I'm wishing that Anivia was in the game here. That's Froggen there, but Aurelia, sorry, on that top lane. So Yellow Pete just returning, has gone for the Orts. Oh, it's actually gone, yeah, Glacial Shroud going to be coming out. It's gone Merc Treads, so he needs to make sure they haven't pushed that bottom turret down yet. This is interesting that they haven't gone for that one. They have taken down the top and middle. I thought they maybe stacked towards that one. They're quite happy to leave that one going. But that's actually giving Genja some safety ground, because Genja's just free farming down that bottom lane, because he's just returned down there again. Has got that Phantom Dancer, and will start to get a little bit more damage now. So it's the Infinity Edge he wants to work towards. But they've got to be careful they don't just leave Genja alone to free farm.
Yeah, they need to keep pressure on him, that's for sure. He's only going to be getting stronger from this point. Karthus actually going to be headed home, so we'll see if he's going to pick up that Zhonya's Hourglass straight away, which already makes him stronger in those fights. Obviously, he can stay alive until that split second before he dies, and pop the Zhonya's, and then they're going to kill him straight away afterwards, unless maybe Froggen can micro out, which he managed to. This time not with Ahri though, not quite as mobile of a champion that he's got with Karthus. But with Karthus, you're pretty much supposed to die anyway. This is just going to prolong it and try and confuse even Moscow 5 a little bit when it gets into the middle of those fights. As we see Wicked now pushing in on towards Darien, he is going to get the Ignite down. Did get some, but there's no turret behind. Are they going to be able to pull up with this one? Snoopy's coming in from that backside as well. Karthus ulti's coming down, and there's a kill. Another kill for Froggen. Diamond Gun Dredge line off towards the trees, and that will keep him safe. But that will be job done for CLG. And I tell you what, they are going to be starting off Baron. Moscow 5 know it. Yeah, the rewards inside of there, so we're not giving anything away from that point of view. But it's down to half HP already. The question is, can Moscow 5 get into the steal this one? It's ward after ward after ward being poured over the top of that wall into the Baron pit. Now down to just 3,000 or so HP. This is going to be a Baron pickup. Moscow 5 saying, you know what, we can't do anything about this one. Genja has pushed the bottom lane out, but CLG are going to pick up a very nice Baron. That's going to give them a nice lead in this game.
Yeah, and it was all started out by Wicked simply catching out Darien on that top lane. Very nicely done. They just thought about it. And, you know, the fact is the Nautilus had just bought an Oracle, so he's like, I really don't want to suicide in just to pick up this Baron with the minutest chance to outsmite Snoopy to try and get it. And it just wasn't going to happen. So they're like, fine, Genja's down the bottom lane. He's continuing to push there and farm away. So Genja's, you know, it's good that he's getting that free farm and he's keeping up with it, but we already saw the scary damage that came out with Froggen once he managed to pop that ulti off. You saw that Alex Leauge came to that. He was about 2/3 health, so it's starting to strip him down of health already, and he's got that Rod of Ages as well, so it's a very scary Froggen already. And how many times have we said that through this tournament? I mean, how do you stop Froggen?
I don't think we need to even say anything about how good Froggen is anymore. He's just automatically is. I don't think I've seen him have a bad game. I mean, he does make mistakes, believe it or not. He has done in the past, like popping his Karthus ulti before he's actually died. Not going to abuse him too much for that one, but still. And we are seeing CLG now pushing up this middle lane. And, you know, everything coming out there from Alex onto Wicked, and you can see that he didn't really do that much. So if he picks the wrong target in a fight, that's going to be just spelling disaster, because this Kassadin has to put out that big amount of burst damage and then get away and then come back in and do the same. But I'm not sure that they're going to be able to do that one here. Yellow Pete is still able to switch that position. He does have his ulti up. In fact, the ultis are already across the board between these both teams. CLG decide, you know what, let's back away a little bit, maybe clear out some jungle. But as soon as Moscow 5 start to walk out, CLG are back there in their faces and pressuring them. And we've seen this situation before in the game yesterday, in the final day game of the day, in the group stage. But the roles were reversed, and, you know, they've got the poke this time, CLG, to actually push through from this.
Yeah, and the question is, can Yellow Pete capture them? So Genja just been back to buy. He was waiting to pick something up there. Didn't see what it was. Looks like it's probably a BF sword, I'm guessing, going towards that. Yeah. It is the BF sword, so he's just waiting for that to be completed to get the money on. But they are conceding it, already ripping down half their health off this turret. Darien going down by half health as well. So there's a lot of damage coming out there, and nobody really is able to get out and just keep them in the face. Yellow Pete is just waiting to try and get a position reversal onto Genja, and Genja's well aware of it. Darien also could actually be popped right now if they were to get onto him, but unfortunately it would also put Yellow Pete Pepe is straight in danger, but he can flash heal his way out of that one right now. Not too sure how quick they're going to be on to the reactions. There we go, Karthus ulti opening things up here. They're going to force them back. This is what we talked about yesterday. Moscow 5 should have done as their opener. They would have done 1k damage. Instead, they go straight in, take that turret down. They're going to dive on. Position reversal on towards Diamond Prox. Diamond Prox is going to get dived on by Wicked Darian now. In all sorts of trouble. Froggen's still in there with his Leauge across the entire team. Froggen is just destroying the whole of Moscow 5. Why are they not shooting him? Why are they just destroying him? Genja, he's on an hourglass there, and he's going to try and get Genja on the tower. Can that last Leauge do it? No, it cannot. And Alex, it just about survived it. My God, 9-5 the kills, and they will be taking this inhibitor. CLG just stomping through, and you've got to wonder why Moscow 5 didn't do that exact thing yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about it with CLG last night. Maybe we gave him some tips about it. I don't know. But that was the point, you know. Run the Karthus ulti and just flash in there with Defile on. And you can see the amount of damage that it's done. In the end, you know, they've taken down this inhibitor turret. Inhibitor still's there, but this inhibitor turret is the hardest block to stumble over. And they know now that the next time that they fight for a Baron, they're going to be stronger in terms of their gold, their items. And when they do have that Baron, they can start to really push through middle and in towards that all-important Nexus.
And there's the first Shirelli's Reverie being picked up by Crepo. Urgot has got that Frozen Heart completed. I thought he was going to go for the... Well, actually went for the Glacial Shroud. He just went straight to the Frozen Heart. So he went straight in there. Rania's Omen as well on Maokai. They are very tanky. Moscow 5 here going to try and steal away this Dragon here. CLG slowly closing in around them. They are going to pick it up there. Moscow 5 is going to have to back away. Genja's not with them at the moment. You can see he's up there. Ping's going down. He's saying, "Let just go clear out that wave." And actually, their pings are from CLG, so they're possibly going to go towards that top turret. So Genja needs to be careful, doesn't get caught out. He has walked across 2 wards, so they know his exact position. I'm not giving anything away there. And Moscow 5 need to back away because this inhibitor that's wide open is going to get pushed on by CLG.
Yeah, they are going to go straight in there, and they're just going to have to rely on Genja, I feel, and Alex Itch to put down as much damage from distance as they can. Again, Alex bursting in towards Snoopy, who's actually the worst target you could ever pick in this team. Wicked also, we saw earlier, didn't take much damage from it, and CLG start to work away. Baron buff, of course, is gone, and that means we'll probably see Crepo leaving those wards behind as he goes. He put one in the small bush by the tower on the corners, and they've got good vision now, CLG, with this 5,000, well, even more than 5,000 gold lead currently.
Yeah, and the big scary thing is that CLG have taken that base turret, so unlike the epic match we had last night, where they just couldn't penetrate that base, Moscow 5, CLG have done that already. So Moscow 5's defensive work is going to have to be really tested here. They managed to do it against CLG North America in the CBIT finals. They held out for about 50 minutes there and turned that game around. But CLG EU seems to be a different beast that they just can't handle. And Moscow 5, well, they're trying to work it in the middle there, but you've got to feel that CLG is just having a little bit of a farming break, waiting for that Baron to come back up. They know they got that advantage now, and they could push either the inhibitor or the Baron if they can keep those lanes pressed.
Yeah, they're going to keep it pressed here, and you know, even the minions going through onto this inhibitor is going to force Moscow 5 to at least have one person back there and trying to keep things. They are out of position. We are seeing Snoopy come around, almost the entire team coming around the top side of this map. That inhibitor is now down to half of its health, but we can see that Genja, the amount of damage that he does, is once again forced CLG to back away. They're not feeling so 100% confident, and I think rightly so. This is definitely not a done deal. A bad engagement, and it could go pear-shaped for CLG very quickly.
Yeah, Castan's gone for that Deathfire grab, so he wants to pop someone that's tanky down pretty quick, whether that's going to be Urgot or whether it's going to be Aurelia that is going to die. Sorry, Renekton is going to dive on. I'm not too sure. See, that's going to shred their hit points down pretty quickly. We've just seen Crepo going back. He's picked up an Oracle, so they're going to start positioning themselves for this Baron. They want to clear out any ward placements there. As we can see, they've got a great deal there now at all, because Moscow 5, every time they've stepped out of that base, CLG have been in their faces. Froggen's just going to head up top, pick himself a bit of free farm. That's no problem. Moscow 5 now going to try and get in that position. You can see they've picked up a bunch of wards, and Gosu Pepper is going to try and ward out and see what he can pick up. The problem for Moscow 5 here is they need CLG to make a mistake. They need them to just, someone somewhere to just walk out into a position, get caught out by that dredge line, something just to completely catch them out and just get that snowball going. But as it is, CLG are not making mistakes.
They're not making mistakes, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor in this game as to, if CLG make a mistake, M5 are the kind of team that will punish them for it. There was actually the Shirelia's popped. Snoopy just charging down, trying to force them backwards, which did work out, but it's kind of obvious to Moscow 5 as to what is happening here. That Baron has now respawned. The question is, how is it going to line up when they decide to fight for them, because Moscow 5 aren't going to want to give one away. Here we go. Wall of Pain goes down. Wicked is right in there. Gosu Pepper falling low. Alexic actually at the back is doing a lot of damage, and they're staying alive at least for now on Moscow 5. The problem is that they are going to get jumped on once again. There is Yellow Pete throwing down his E and forcing M5 a little bit away. Let's take stock quickly. Gosu Pepper and Diamond half HP. Here comes CLG once again. Here comes the switch onto Diamond. He's in a load of trouble. The Carthus, actually Froggen used his Zhonya's very early there. I'm not sure that was the best idea. Genja now in trouble. Alex bursting across the entire team though, and that may just be 3 of them surviving, except here comes the Carthus ulti. Genja just survives it. 68 health points, 350 on Cassidy. He wasn't too close to dying, but that is enough, and that is why that Carthus ulti is so very, very dangerous. If they would have picked off Genja there right at the very end, that would have been, I don't know. I mean, they're going to get Baron now anyway, so that's job done at least. But Darien is still here.
But I don't think there's a great deal he can do about it other than just simply be a passenger and watch it. Yeah, he's just going to pick up that. So that's the second Baron, actually, that CLG have picked up. What are they going to do with it? They took the middle turret the first time around. Can they take more? But Genja going back to farming that lane. Alexic going back to farming that lane. They are not done with yet. They will not be giving up. We saw some, I think it was a fairly early surrender, actually, from Fnatic against Moscow 5, against CLG, sorry. And I was a little bit surprised by that one, as was the crowd, and as was their #1 fan, Xenon. He's like, why did they surrender? You know, what CLG proved last night, you can go to a 63-minute game comeback from an incredible goal deficit and get back in there. But honestly, I don't think CLG were in the mood to let any game slide today, and they seem to be on unstoppable form.
Well, they certainly do. And we saw yesterday 4 Barons, by the way, in the game, just to point that one out. So we're halfway there in this one. And halfway in terms of time as well. So, I don't know. Hopefully we won't get that. The big difference in this one is that inhibitor turret is down. Obviously, different set of champions. Genja, though, is going to be able to defend from a bit of range. This inhibitor is going to become focused. Obviously, Yellow Pete in there. There goes the Wall of Pain. Will they decide to go in? Lock-on has come onto Alexic. That's going to force him to rift walk away from that situation. And CLG, they're still not 100% confident. They want the perfect engage. They don't want to be leaving anything down to choice. Again, Alexic deciding to burst out onto Wicked, which is not going to be the best choice. There goes the inhibitor, and we move to a 50,000 to 43,000 gold lead, 5-2 in turrets. And CLG, you know, they're going to want to push this top lane and the bottom lane out now before they make a difference. Oh, Darian's horribly out of position. Luckily, Aurelia.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to dash away from that one. Nearly got caught completely out of position. Actually, was he aware that that was happening? He just goes back to farming quite happily. But you could see how tense that was for CLG. Even with the Baron up, they were very nervous about engaging for that 5v5 fight on an open inhibitor. They're still being very precautious. I'm making words up as I go along because it is cautious, not precautious. Not even a word in the English language, and I'm an English guy. So we can see Genja just pushing on towards that top. He needs to get that Infinity Edge, which he has completed now. So he is going to start to really hurt. You could see, I think he put a couple of shots on towards Snoopy and it shredded him down. And again, that burst that came out from Cassidy managed to burst down on towards Wicked a little bit. So if they actually both focus on the same champion, they could insta-pop someone very quickly within a couple of seconds. But the question is, can they get close enough to do that with the rest of CLG sat ready and waiting?
Right now, this inner top turret is going to be pushed down. It's already taken about a third of its health. And CLG just going to saunter on in there again. Alexic will put down the pressure onto Snoopy, who loses basically nothing of his health from that. And that is going to be another turret taken down, 6-2. CLG lining up now for their second inhibitor turret of this game. Do they have the minions? There's actually a siege minion in there as well. Alexic will be locked onto. That's a third of his health gone down. And CLG just dancing in there with those minions. Want to start things off. There goes the... actually, that's more damage onto Yellow Pete. That's obviously where they're going to have to be focusing in there. They don't want him to have the opportunity to stay alive because... quite frankly, his damage is very high now. He's got that frozen heart as well. He's tanky, so he's just generally all around a good target to go for M5.
Yeah, that's just the problem though. CLG are very tanky. Even Froggen's got a lot of hit points, to be honest. He's not even a squishy one. You can see Crepo seems to be the target at the moment, but not really the one you want to go for. And he's trying to prevent that wish. But that turret is slowly but surely being chipped away out. You can see it's down to half health. The pings go down towards the middle. They realize that super minions are now pushing in that middle. So that someone's going to have to go and deal with that because they're heading on towards that main turret. So they're going to be able to have a chance to push straight in there. Moscow 5 have to fight for this one. That Baron buff has not got very long left on it. 1 minute left to go before that runs out. And that's a very quick minute because that was gone already. It was 1 second is what I was after. Diamond Pro just trying to get in there. They just cannot engage. They can't seem to find anyone to catch onto. Crepo with that Oracle, and you can see they're just burning it down. Moscow 5 have decided they've got to go for it. Gosu Pepper's going to go in there, gets the pulverize, pops his ulti, tries to draw a lot of the aggro, but it's not happening. Diamond Pro again trying to slow everyone. They just can't seem to focus on anyone. And Moscow 5 are losing a lot more health as they went straight in towards Froggen there. They've all escaped with their lives, only just so, but CLG are going to be able to turn that advantage. The ulti going to come out. Will they get one? Yes, it will be. The cow goes down. Snoopy sorely going to catch on towards Darien. Darien now just about being saved out by Diamond Pro there. The tower actually hitting on towards Wicket. There's not quite enough damage going down, and that will be a second inhibitor taken by CLG. They are playing very well in this grand final.
Yeah, and you see the difference between these Baron utilization. You know, they've not lost a single man there, managing to pick off. And we said this yesterday in the group stage game between these two. That's all Moscow 5 needed to do with that Baron on. Just take a little bit of health at a time, and eventually they would have broken through it. There's no doubt about it. And that's exactly how this one has gone down. Let's have a look quickly at the items once again. We've got a bit of time while they walk back to get in position. All the buffs are actually up on the CLG side of the map, so they're going to spend a bit of time sorting that one out. So we've got 2 Last Whispers in the lineup here. 1 with Urgot, 1 with Renekton, which Wicked got obviously early on. 2 Randuin's Omens, 2 Shurelias. They're liking to pair things at this point. Obviously, yeah, that Frozen Heart in there. Karthus, you know, he's got Rod of Ages, he's got Will of Ancient, he's got Abyssal Scepter, and he's got that Zhonya's Hourglass. I just want to actually click on him. Shurelia's is pop. They know that Darian's in there. Wall of Pain will actually land. Do they have the damage between the two of them? Most probably, because Darian, he has got no mana anyway to even think about escaping from this one. Crepo is there to heal. Snoopy will pick up the kill, and that is a case of being caught out of position. And Darian, this far into the game, is now not able to, you know, offer anything for a whole minute.
That could be GG because CLG are in position to push up. Meanwhile, you can see the rest of Moscow 5, they're trying to have to teleport back. They are out of position. CLG just piling straight through. This could be akin to Moscow 5. Here's Alex Each got caught out, went straight face check that bush here. They are going to take down this open inhibitor. They've got the help of the super minions. They're not going to be a problem at all. Actually, Alex Each diving on towards Froggen at the top. If you could pan across to the top there, does manage to use his Zhonya's Hourglass. Now he gets the wall of pain down. You can see Snoopy diving on towards him. Snoopy getting absolutely burst down there. The turret will hit him as well. You can see the ulti coming out from Diamond Pro, launching him in the air, but again, they could not secure that kill because they're just too damn tanky.
Yeah, they're tanking through all the damage, and eventually they've just got more to finish off these kills, and that's another good push. You know, this inhibitor did get taken down in the middle, and just as they move away, guess who's just spawned? Baron Nashor, ready for Baron number 3 in this game. We're hitting the 40-minute mark, and we predicted even earlier on in the day that CLG versus M5, these games are probably going to take longer because they're close and because, quite frankly, CLG like to play long games.
They do love to play long games, and it seems to work out very well for them. It's the style that all CLG teams actually kind of play. You can see in North America, they'll certainly play a nice farming session for a while, but they know how to do it, they know how to run it, and they just play it safe, and it's played so much in their hands. And the third really, honestly, completely uncontested Baron, really. They've not been able to get anywhere near it, and Darian, once again, may well get caught out of position here. He sees farming up. He's going to try and get caught out by the wall of pain, though. You can see Wicked's going to get in, and Darian will go down for the second time. Caught out, and they're just out of position, and that is really as quick as you like. They can go down, and honestly, I think Moscow 5 have just seen their game lost.
Yeah, there's another minute without Irelia. 4 versus 5 with the Baron running. We can see how fast this is going to go down, actually. Rift Walk goes away. Alexic, though, is in the middle of it all. We are going to see possibly a last fight. Alexic tries to get away. Will go down to Yellow Pete. There goes another one. Gosu Pepper is now the focus. He will die. Ulti comes out from Karthus, and it's all left to Diamond to save this one. But frankly, he's going to have to hope for a million here. First turret goes down, second one will go down, Nexus is going to follow, and CLG are going to be the champions of Dreamhack Summer 2012. A phenomenal, phenomenal performance, deserving every last second of it. They have played brilliantly throughout this weekend, and Demon, they just showed Moscow 5 are not unbeatable.
EU, this is the first championship they'd have won of any tournament. They've been showing potential throughout Europe on the online competitions. We've talked about them so often, and finally they have earned the praise, and they have beaten not just any team, they've beaten Moscow 5 in the finals. You know, Moscow 5, the champions of CBIT, they have performed brilliantly throughout there, and what an absolutely fantastic final we've had so far. You know, 3 games, because they were in the group stage. We've had 3 epic matches between these guys at Dreamhack, and really, you know, it just sets up Season 2 so much better.
Well, both teams shaking hands there, good sportsmanship between them, but you know, Moscow 5, I'm not quite sure that they knew what hit them there. First game of this best of 3, which wasn't in the Dream Arena, but on the other stage, they played a super aggressive, great setup, which I think caught Moscow 5 off guard more than anything. And then by the time they even realized what was going on, too late to fix it. The second game, CLG, you know, they dragged it out. They went the whole way, and they won it. They showed Moscow 5 how to be in the same situation as they were in yesterday and finish the game.
Yeah, and the first game of the finals was just a one-sided performance. CLG was so strong. They went so aggressive. Remember they had that level 1, was it level 1 dive? I think it was. They had 4 men pod diving on towards that top turret. They were so aggressive throughout that performance. So it was a fantastic and well-earned victory by CLG. They really were very, very strong. But I believe we're going to be passing down to the main stage for the final results.
Yeah, whenever you are. Okay, everybody, welcome back. And we are at the pinnacle of League of Legends play. That was an amazing finals. Now let's hear it for Moscow 5. They put up an amazing fight. I'm standing here with their rep, and we are going to make some noise because that was an amazing match. Now you fought your way through, and CLG just seemed to have what it took today to take you out of the fight. What didn't work in that match?
I think they just played better than us this day. It's like they're in better form, I think. They just like their picks. I mean, second game maybe, like this game, they were not much better, but the first game they were much better. So their team play is a bit better than us at the moment, so it's like deserved win for them.
Yeah. Well done to them, and well done to you, to be honest. I'd like to bring you the rest of your team out here so we can go ahead and give you your checks and prizes. Yeah. Oh, wait, come on. So this is going to be the second place prize here from Dreamhack MSI, the $10,000 to Moscow 5 for second place. Where's the MSI? The check? You have your check? Are you supposed to give me a check or not? No. Okay, you're just supposed to stand there and look pretty. Come and look pretty. You guys, yeah. And now for the MSI gifts that are going to go ahead as recompense, we do have the N560 GTX T-Hawk from MSI, and there is one for each of these fine players. Okay. All right, well, fantastic, everybody. Let's give a last round of applause, and we're going to go ahead and move on with this painfully awkward prize ceremony. All right, guys. Thank you. No, that's not how it works. Okay, and now let's give it up for CLG EU! So are you the captain this time?
Yeah, I'm going to be the captain this time, just for a change.
Well, congratulations, man. Apparently that was a very aggressive match right there. Was that your strategy going into this?
Yeah, like, the thing is, usually we stall the game. Like, generally we'll stall the game early, and then wait for the late game. We try to drag it out a long, long time. But this time we decided to go in aggressive early, and we got a bunch of kills early, and it worked out.
Yeah, it looked like everything was going in your favor, and it just went with that. Is having the extra map going into the series, you feel like that just gave you the confidence to push forward?
I would definitely say it did. I think it knocked their confidence a little bit, for sure. And yeah, it helped us so much.
Well, congratulations on a well-deserved win here, and we do have the first place check for you, as it appears Freak is going to go ahead and hand that off to you. CLG EU, first place! As well as the MSI GT70 laptop. So sick. One for each. Lucky dogs. All right. Oh, man, taking a risk there. I don't know. That looks wobbly to me. All right, there we go. Come on, pretty boy, get in the picture. All right, well, let's give a last round of applause to our League of Legends champions for the Dream Arena Extreme. And now we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have the Dota 2 finals, the other MOBA here, the other flavor, in just a minute.